Welcome to GymCastic behind the scenes live from Fort Worth, Texas, where LSU just became national championships for the very first time ever. You guys, this is our behind the scenes live. This is PG-14 because feelings. And so you might hear a bad word. You can listen, remember, anytime in your favorite podcast player. You don't have to log into the website. And I am here with Michigan great, Olivia Karas, filling in for Spencer, saving the day. Thank you so much. He will be better. I mean, there are a lot of things I would like to blame him for not being here, including what happened to Oklahoma. I believe it's his fault. But, okay, so first of all, my first most important question to you is, how fast is Georgia going to apologize and try to get Jay Clark back now?
I think the text was sent before Aaliyah Finnegan finished her beat routine.
I do wonder if they're going to try to get them cools now.
That's my first bet.
Yeah.
Is I think you see these assistant coaches come in, they do this on the biggest stage. They have this meet. I mean, like, it was an incredible meet. If I'm the Georgia administration, I have a call happening the moment they get to their phones.
Yep. That's what I think too. I almost thought, like, is this a tactic? So if you guys don't know, Coupets has taken time off for her family. So Georgia was like, that's enough. We want to win championships again. But they did it before today. And I was like, is this a tactic? Are they going to like call the McCools already before the finals? And that's like a tactic to try to like disturb the competition. I don't know. That's what some people in sports do. It's not my style, but like, this is a thing that happens, like strategy like this. Yes. I don't know if you've heard about it, going to Michigan. So final scores. So LSU 198.225, coming in second. Cal, this is huge for Cal. It's huge for LSU. It's huge for Cal too. 197.85. Utah came in third and Florida in fourth. Overall, what did you think of the meet?
It was one for the history books overall in so many ways. But I think this is what we want in a championship. We want drama. We all want drama. Let's be clear. Even if it's our team that suffers from the drama, we all want drama. We all want drama. We all want good gymnastics.
Yes.
We want to see the athletes have a good day. But if there's a fall, we want to see how they figure it out based on momentum. And we want to see four of the best teams in the country. And I do think, obviously with OU messing up being so incredible all year, the four on the floor here, it was truly anyone's game.
Yep.
And I think this is the first time it's felt that way for all four teams on the floor. And I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
And so I think that is remarkable. I just think it was an incredible championship. The fall for LSU having to have Aaliyah hit, you just can't write it any better than that.
Yep.
So I think it was literally written with drama. It had plot twists. It was so good. It was so good.
I feel like this was, like you said, like one of the most exciting championships we've had in a really long time, because really any of the teams could win it with Oklahoma out. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But I think also it's like this is not a surprise that it's LSU and Cal, because they were going back and forth all season. And, even though we'll talk about controversial schoolers, don't worry, you guys. Obviously, we're gonna do that. But the thing that I really liked about LSU winning is we had all those years where we thought for sure LSU was going to win, and they came in second, and then they came in second again, and then they were second again, and then they were second again. So I thought about like all the gymnasts who laid the foundation, like Finnegan, the other Finnegan with the wolf turn, Zamardi, Corville, Hambrick, Ashley Natt, Sydney Ewing, like all those greats. And that made me really happy. One of my favorite things about this meet is that the credentials for the coaches is a pin instead of a stupid lanyard. And I'm like, can the Olympics do this too? And USAG, because lanyards are dangerous and no one should have a thing that could potentially strangle them while they're trying to spot.
Yeah.
So, like, if you wouldn't put it on a cat or a baby, you shouldn't wear it during gymnastics. That's like, this is a rule to live by. And they look cool. They look like a little medal, kind of. So, yeah, I like that. Some behind the scenes things you guys might not have seen. McKenna Smith, did you see her wearing her big furry, like,
it was incredible.
glasses?
I loved it. I'm so here for like a march out glasses moment, because when we were in college, we certainly could not have done that. So I'm super here for a coach being like, yeah, do it, vibe check, like have fun. So I loved it personally.
I totally loved it.
I loved it.
I've never seen anybody wear a costume for their dance through during warm-ups. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. Let's keep going this direction. If elite gymnastics won't do it, then so did you have like biggest surprises of this competition in general?
Honestly, vault.
Yes.
Let's be honest, Michigan grad math, of the 24 vaults, were there 2 stuck?
Yeah. And
maybe?
And stuck. But like,
right? Like
torso moves.
I tweeted it during the meet. I'm a firm believer that the winner will stick 3 vaults, minimum.
Yep.
3 or more vault. That's what happened with Michigan. That's what's happened with OU. I firmly believe that. But no one stuck a vault.
It turns out falling on beam is how you win.
Apparently. I mean, LSU's beam rotation was very 2021 Michigan-esque.
Yeah.
Having like that wobble, which of course was a fall there for Shane Hare, but then like the first 3 Michigan ones being meh and them going pretty much 995 plus for the last 3, it felt like that to me. It was like they knew exactly what they needed to do after the Shane Hare mistake. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little nervous about Miss Finnegan and that triple series. When she hit that, I said, there it is. It's over.
Yeah,
I knew it. She doesn't wobble on a front aerial.
Yeah.
I knew it at that point. And she actually, we were sitting right over in the bar area by beam and she smirked before she even did her dismount. And I was like, dang, that's legendary.
Confidence.
It's legendary.
This is why you put your kids in gymnastics. That kind of confidence right there, pretty much. For me, first of all, going into the last rotation, so everything switched. At first it was LSU, then Cal looked like they were coming back. They killed it on bars. And then Utah was ahead going into the last rotation. I was like, oh, Utah's got this. Utah on vault, they've got it. But then they messed up so many vaults. And again, I was like, is there something wrong with the vault? After what happened to Oklahoma. But the vault is fine. It was just, I think they wanted it too bad. And I think that's the one thing that's changed about LSU over the years is they calmed down. I feel like they always wanted it too bad. And that's where they made their mistakes in the past. But I loved that the senior, the big recruit they got from Florida, Shone Hair, fell on getting up from laying down on the beam. That is the most gymnast thing that has ever happened. And see, if the easiest thing in your routine, immediately fall off on it. And then don't just get off the beam, but hang on like a monkey and climb back up to the top. Yeah.
She had the funniest reaction. I saw her on the floor and I gave her a big hug and she, eyes crying. And I was like, wow, what a way to end your career. She goes, girl, right? I wanted to bring drama. I was like, yeah, apparently you did.
So much
but
drama.
Kudos to her for doing beam. She did not do beam at Florida at all. And in the beginning of the year. And so then to come out here, she had that 9925 beam in prelims. That was gorgeous. That was leading for a while. Yep. So just kudos to her. But yeah, that she definitely needed to go out with some style, so to speak.
So much style. Other big surprises for me was Leanne Wong's fall.
That was up there for me too.
I was like, what?
I don't think I've ever seen her fall on anything on beam, not to mention a front aerial.
Right. I was like, has she been doing that since she's 4?
But what's interesting about it is that Levasseur fell on a front aerial too, arguably 2 of the best beam workers.
Yes.
So what's very interesting is there was clearly an undercut of the front aerial that was happening with nerves.
Yeah.
Because that just doesn't happen.
Right.
I've never seen that happen.
That is definitely a when you are not going full out.
Right.
That's what happens on a front aerial.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I never did them.
Yeah. I couldn't. My back will not allow it. No. That's how I know from trying and just falling backwards. Also, Haley Bryant, LSU on bars. They're doing really well on bars. And then she landed and took the big, I thought she was going to put her knee down. It was such a big lunge forward. And I was like, hey, that doesn't happen to Haley Bryant. What is happening? And I was like, oh my God, there's going to be a fall. It's going to be even tighter. I mean, we've seen so many teams win with not just 1 fall, but 2 falls. So I was like, well, LSU could do it. They're ahead, but it was freaking crazy. KJ Johnson on floor.
That was crazy. My best friend who was here is the KJ Johnson stan.
That's right.
The stan. She is beside herself. sitting up in the bar area beside herself. But what's so crazy about KJ Johnson is that she's chasing that 10 and they just won't give it to her.
Yeah.
And I think there was a little bit of a period of time where she was just trying so hard. But that middle pass, it's honestly the podium and that bounce of like a 1.5 lay, a couple people's 1.5 front fulls were a little questionable.
Yep.
So I think everyone had that rushy-itis almost on that pass. And I think she just totally got ahead of herself because the first and last pass were chef's kiss.
Yes.
And even vault taking 2 steps.
Yeah.
So weird. So weird.
Jessica says the theme of the week is what is happening?
Literally.
Yes. And that's why it was so exciting because we really were like, oh my God. I mean, I really thought, well, Florida was doing so well.
Yeah.
And then I could miss the routines of Florida on bars. So like, why were they so far behind on bars?
I didn't watch that much, but from what I remember, there were just a couple of things everywhere. Hops. They weren't sticking anything on bars. But then when they went over to beam and Sloane's beam was to die.
Sloan, I was like, oh, they're back. This is it.
So good.
Did you guys see on the first day when she landed? I'm pretty sure it was beam, and she landed, and then she like shook her head back and forth,
that.
like a dog like wiggling in the tail, like I'm happy I did it. Look at this, and then saluted. Oh my God, the best thing ever.
Also with Leanne falling, and then having Ellie go after that bad fall on Thursday.
Yep.
That's a confidence booster. Like kudos to her. She had a great day. I mean, kudos to her after that because that was scary. But I was bummed about Florida because I do really want it for Jenny.
Yeah.
The
to break
whole
the
staff.
curse.
Yes. Yeah. I want it for them so badly. But for me as like an alum of Michigan and being here when they won, I wanted it to be Cal or LSU for the sake of at another school that has never had it, even though you have Utah and Florida with coaches who have never had it, but I just wanted it. And so I'm just so happy that it happened.
It's better for the sport when it's never happened before and then it happens. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I hope that it's like this more often. I do want to pause for a minute and let you guys know about the live show last night because the live show was amazing. If I may say so myself, the word is out now that Kathy Johnson, it was our secret special guest, the 1984 Olympic team -1, all came to surprise her at the live show. And yeah, she talked about the ESPN situation. She told stories about Russian men. It's all the tea you've ever wanted in your life was delivered. So you can still get tickets and watch that if you want. And there's a replay will be up for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, it definitely delivered. And then I'll tell you when we get to the behind the scenes portion about what happened after the show too, because that is why I didn't get any sleep. And anyway. So, all right, we talked about the biggest surprises. Except we didn't talk about Miles on bars.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. I was like, are you trying to copy Mara? What's happening here?
And it was like out of just a kip, her hand came off.
But that's the second one this weekend.
Right.
Right? Like it's almost like weird things are happening not once.
Yes. All over the place.
That's weird to me.
Yeah.
That it was consistent. And how about Gabby Perea standing full?
Yes, she had so many like wobbles and never stopped. Like
Ever.
she's like 3 flips in a row and never stopped her connection. I was like, how is that possible? That's insane. Like just sheer will. That's how she got it together. Did you have okay, well, this is before we get to that. So I asked Jay Clark in the press conference, I said so many people have been afraid of NIL and said it's going to change the sport. But LSU has really embraced it. Can you talk about that? And he was just like, yeah, it's a great place because the local businesses and that are into it and athletes should come here. But, he's like, I don't have anything to do with it. It's their business. And he made a joke about, asking, like telling, Liv what to do. And he's like, yeah, you make like 20 times what I do, but I need to like be your boss right now. And I do feel like this is the first NIL influenced win. And I'm not saying in any way it's not deserved because I do think that they deserved it, even though they're, scores here and there I don't agree with. But I do think that they were able to recruit the top talent because their school is behind them. Their school's letting them recruit people and use their NIL collective, and other schools can't because the NIL collective is not giving them the money. And so I think it's good. And I hope everyone else starts doing this. Virginia, I found this out from Tasha Schweikert's law firm and their TikTok account today. It's like We Are NIL, I think it's called. Virginia now allows the school to directly pay the athletes. You don't have to bother with any of this nonsense. You can just pay them. And I was like, well, that's honest.
Yeah.
if our journey here is coming to an end, because you're not a Club Gym Nerd member yet, I'm going to tell some behind the scenes stories. And one of them involves what we did with Kathy after the show. And another one involves what the NCAA didn't know was coming for them in the press conference. Here's what happened after the live show. Boop. So if you're not a Club Gym Nerd member, you can join at gymcastic.com and listen to the rest of this.